For over a decade, Kristina Joksimovic was a highly visible figure in Switzerland. She reached the finals of the Miss Switzerland pageant in 2007, building a public profile that was defined by glamour and grace. After stepping off the runway, she transitioned into a successful entrepreneur and a mother of two. Operating under the name Catwalk Coach, she built a business entirely around teaching other women how to walk with poise and project inner confidence. Her private life appeared to mirror that same level of success. She was married to a 41-year-old entrepreneur, identified in Swiss media as Thomas J., and the couple raised their daughters in Binningen, a quiet, highly affluent suburb outside of Basel. To the outside world, it was a picture of absolute domestic bliss. But the subsequent investigation into her death would reveal how extreme, lethal violence can hide flawlessly behind a pristine public facade. The illusion broke in February 2024. Kristina, who was known as a devoted mother, uncharacteristically failed to pick up her two young daughters from their daycare. Concerned, her father went to the couple's home in Binningen to check on her. Walking through the main living areas, he found no obvious signs of a struggle. Furniture was upright, the house was undisturbed. But when he reached the laundry room, he made a gruesome discovery. Resting on the floor was a black plastic bag containing his daughter's dismembered remains. Swiss police arrested Thomas the very next day. In his initial statement to investigators, he claimed he had simply come home, found his wife dead, and dismembered her in a blind panic. Within weeks, as evidence mounted, Thomas pivoted to a new, permanent legal defense. He claimed Kristina had suddenly attacked him with a knife, forcing him to kill her in a split-second act of self-defense, after which he dismembered the body out of sheer shock. This left investigators with a distinct challenge. They had to determine if forensic science could pierce through a claim of panicked self-defense to prove a calculated, cold-blooded murder. The answer came quickly from the forensic analysis, which immediately began to dismantle Thomas's narrative. This dual timeline illustrates the autopsy's primary finding. Kristina's official cause of death was strangulation. This inherently contradicts a panicked reaction to a knife attack. Strangulation is a close-contact crime, requiring deliberate, sustained physical effort over minutes, not fractions of a second. Furthermore, investigators found a complete absence of defensive wounds on Thomas. He had no cuts or bruising that would align with a close-range knife fight. The physical mechanics of the murder explicitly point to deliberate, sustained intent. It was not a panicked accident. The evidence against the panic defense grew even stronger when investigators cataloged the tools used post-mortem. The list included a jigsaw, heavy-duty garden shears, a kitchen hand blender, and caustic chemical solutions. This spectrum tracks post-mortem criminal behavior. Dismemberment usually falls on the left, used to conceal a body, but the actions taken here fall on the extreme right, total physical erasure. This level of destruction is time-intensive, requires calculated planning, and demands profound cognitive detachment. Reviewing these facts, Swiss authorities concluded that Thomas exhibited a remarkably high level of criminal energy and a distinct lack of empathy. This methodical destruction invalidates any claim of a shock response. It reveals a killer seeking absolute control, actively trying to erase her physical existence. When investigators shifted their focus from the crime scene back to the timeline of the marriage, they realized the forensic findings actually confirmed a pre-existing hidden pattern of abuse. In July 2023, several months before the murder, police were called regarding an incident where Thomas had previously attempted to strangle Kristina. This chart highlights a well-documented criminological principle. Prior non-fatal strangulation is one of the highest known statistical predictors of future lethality in intimate partner violence. When an abuser places their hands around a partner's neck, the risk of a future homicide increases exponentially. This highlights the tragic paradox of Kristina's life. She built an entire brand teaching women to step into their power and walk confidently, yet friends noted she was forced to walk on eggshells inside her own home. Coercive control creates an invisible, paralyzing trap. It is a dynamic of psychological and physical dominance that can snare even the most outwardly empowered and successful individuals. Thomas J. is now facing trial in the Swiss federal court, formally charged with murder and disturbing the peace of the dead. The shockwaves from Kristina's death have resonated far beyond the Swiss modeling community, framing her case as a chilling global case study in the epidemic of femicide. The statistics surrounding this issue are sobering. Worldwide, nearly 89,000 women and girls are murdered annually. The vast majority of those killings, around 55%, are committed by intimate partners or family members. Domestic violence does not discriminate by wealth, social status, or public confidence. And for tens of thousands of women, the most dangerous place on earth is behind the closed doors of their own homes.